Alright, so let's take the lid off of this goulash lavash here. Oh, that looks awfully good. Okay, you can see it's simmering. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add the vegetables. And just to review the vegetables that we're adding to this dish, I have 3 medium carrots that are sliced up. I have some parsnip or parsley root. I have 1 of those, and that's nicely sliced. I have 3 celery stalks, and the celery stalks, I have those sliced. And then I have a couple tomatoes. Those have been diced real well. And of course, I have the green pepper. So let's go ahead and put all this inside, just like this. There we go. Certainly a very healthy dish to eat with all these fresh vegetables going in here. Alright, so we have all the vegetables going in. And then in addition to these vegetables, we're going to have to add some more water. And at this point in time, we are going to add, let's see, we want to add another couple of, just 1 more cup of water. So we're going to measure another cup of water. Edit is still with us. Edit, over in Hungary when you cook goulash, you don't use these measuring cups, do you? Are you still there, Edit? Okay, I guess Edit's not with us anymore. So we're going to add that water and the vegetables, and we're just going to let this simmer for another hour, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we're back. The dish has been simmering for the last 30 minutes, and you can see the vegetables have really softened up quite a bit. Now the last thing to add to this dish is the final amount of water, and the recipe calls for another 6 cups of water. So all in total, you're going to have 8 cups of water. You put 2 in with the spices and the meat. Or I'm sorry, you put 1 in with the spice and the meat and the onions, and then after that's slowly cooked for an hour, you add another cup with the vegetables, let it simmer for half an hour, and then you add the final 6 cups of water. And then at this time you also are going to add the potatoes. And the potatoes, as you can see, I've just taken 3 to 4 medium-sized potatoes, and I've cut those up into little 1-inch pieces, and I add those in, and that's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'll let it simmer for 20 minutes before you can say soup's on, or in this case lavash is on. So with that being said, I'm going to let this come to a boil. At this time I'm also going to add something that I brought back from Hungary, and it's called, well, it's just goulash cream. Goulash creme. The E with a little line over it is kind of pronounced like an A, I think. I could be mistaken. This is just it's a very nice addition to this. I'm not sure if you can buy it here in America. It's almost like a tomato paste, and it's a seasoned tomato paste. But if you add tomato paste to your dish, it'll thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to add this in. I'm going to stir it, and we'll let this come to a boil. Alright, so the goulash is boiling now, and right before I turn it to the final simmer, I'm going to add a couple paprika. And what you're seeing here is a strand of paprika, and you'll see this hanging on a lot of houses in the countryside out in Hungary. They hang it out to dry. So what I'm going to do is I've snipped a couple of these paprika off of here, and I'm just going to cut these up right into the boiling goulash. It adds a nice flavor to it. The seeds are a little warm, a little hot actually, and it gives it a real nice little taste. And that's about it. So I'll add this in here. just like that. And then I'm going to stir it real well, and after I stir it, I'm going to go ahead and just let it simmer for 20 minutes before we can say lavesh is on. Alright, so it is soup time, or lavesh time, and you can see this is what it should look like when it's done. It's a certainly a nice looking meal. I certainly say that. And it is this actually looks like the goulash that you would get at a restaurant over in Budapest. So the only thing left to do now is to sit down and enjoy it, and I intend to do just that. Alright, so the goulash has made it from the stove onto the table, and you can see that I'm serving the goulash in a replica of what you would see on the Hungarian plain. This is a replica of a kettle that was used, and if you're over in Hungary and you visit the puszta, oftentimes you'll see them using a kettle, a much larger kettle obviously, over an open fire. And a lot of times they'll have parties around Hungary, and the men who generally don't find their way into the kitchen in Hungary, they will take on the role of playing the cook and making the goulash. Generally they will serve goulash with bread, and it's not a main dish. It's usually an appetizer or a soup before the main dish is served. And one of the items I brought back from Hungary is this. It is a paprika cream, and they certainly like their paprika over there in paprika over in Hungary. And this is something that I like to add to the goulash, and it gives it a little bit more kick. So in Hungary, the common phrase for good appetite is jó étvágyat. So if you're in a restaurant and you hear a lot of people saying jó étvágyat, that's what they're saying. They're saying good appetite. And one more saying that you should be familiar with is this one. Nagyon finom. Nagyon finom means it tastes very good. So thanks for letting me share this video with you. I hope you're able to make this Hungarian goulash one day in your home and you enjoy it as much as I do. Have a great day.